Hi everyone, Miss Humphrey here, and I'd like to take us quickly through the notes on pages 13, 14, and 15 in our unit packet. And what we're going to be talking about in these notes is going to be some of our units of measurement, our metric prefixes, and a few important definitions that are going to help prepare us for our speed lab, which we will be doing on our asynchronous day. So let's start off with units. In our physics class, and in all physics classes, we focus on the SI units. And so we're talking about things like time measured in seconds, maybe rather than minutes or hours. Distance measured in meters rather than feet. Mass measured in kilograms instead of pounds. And then we get into a few we won't use as frequency, like the measurement of a substance in moles. We won't do a ton with thermodynamics in temperature in kelvins. Our electric current, oh yeah, we'll be working with amps when we get to the electricity. And then luminosity, I believe it's pronounced candela units for luminosity. We'll get a little bit on luminosity when we get to optics later in the year. And so these units are going to be the units we're going to function in all year. And most of the time, our questions will have these units already provided for them. You won't have to do too many conversions, which will be nice as we go through. You will be asked to kind of memorize some of these units, but you're going to use them so much in the weeks to come that it'll just become second nature very quickly about what units you use when you're measuring something like mass or distance. So let's go down into our metric prefixes next. So some of these metric prefixes you are going to use a lot in physics class, and honestly a lot in any science class that you take from now on, especially if you're pursuing more physics classes or engineering classes. And so I do want to go through some of the heavy hitters, the ones you're going to see more frequently, and then also just give you a chance to fill in the rest of this table. So a couple that I want to talk about right away. Let's talk about kilo right away. Well, when I think about kilo, I think about something like a kilogram. And when we're thinking about this in terms of like an exponent, it's, first of all, it means to the thousandth place. And that's going to be times 10 to the third. So if I was going to say something was 1 kilogram, it'd be 1 times 10 to the third grams. And so that's 1,000 if I was going to put it in decimal format. Another one that I want to make sure we hit on is going to be our centi. And actually, let's do a milli first, because that's a nice counter example to our kilo. So for milli, now we're talking about this thousandth. And so this is times 10 to the negative third. And if I wanted to put it in decimal place, it's 0.001. The most common one you hear is milliliters. Also, millimeters is something we'll function in. And this is a very small measurements. Centimeters, actually, we don't use centimeters a ton in our physics world, but it is one you hear a lot. And so centi, and for that one, we're talking about to the 100th place, which will be times 10 to the negative second, and which will be 0.01 if it was in decimal format. Micro, you see a lot. Micro right here. So that's to the millionth times 10 to the negative fourth. And that's 0.00001. And actually, I started to focus on a pattern here. It's not times 10 to the third, it's times 10 to the sixth. Come on, Miss Humphrey. So times 10 to the sixth there. I know you got that down. And let's get our decimal places correct. So we got point, and I'm double checking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 for our decimal place. Now the last one that you see, again, not so much in our math physics class. If you were to pursue an advanced physics or AP physics next year, we do kind of a lot with nano. And so nano is times 10 to the negative 9th. If I want to think about it in terms of amounts, it's a billionth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 decimal places. So these are the ones we're going to do a lot. I'm going to really quick pause the video, fill the rest in, and when you see the video next, it's going to have all of them filled in.